Every business eventually runs into the same problem. There isn't enough time. More emails, more tasks, more meetings, more operational chaos. And eventually, one question starts showing up. What if I had another employee? Someone to handle repetitive work, organize information, keep things moving. But what if your next employee wasn't human? So I built one, an AI employee. To answer one question, what can AI actually do inside a business? And honestly, what happened surprised me, because by the end of this experiment, I realized something. Businesses aren't preparing for AI tools anymore. They're preparing for AI systems. What can AI actually do inside a business? And honestly, what happened surprised me. By the end of this experiment, I realized something. Businesses aren't preparing for AI tools anymore. They're preparing for AI systems, and those are very different things. Before I could judge my new AI employee, I had to define what an employee even is. What makes someone a valuable member of a team? I broke the question down into smaller, more manageable parts. I landed on 5 simple traits that I believe are the foundation of any good employee, human or otherwise. First, communication. A good employee can talk and write clearly. They can explain complex ideas in simple terms. They ask smart questions when they are confused. They don't just broadcast information, they ensure it's understood by others. Second, there is execution. An employee is hired to get work done. They must be able to take a task from a simple request to a completed project. They follow through on their commitments and deliver results. It's about more than just being busy. It's about being productive and moving the needle on important goals. Third, there is reliability. A great employee is dependable. You can count on them to show up. You can count on them to meet their deadlines. You can count on them to follow established rules and processes. They are a stable and consistent force on the team, not a chaotic variable. Fourth, and this is a big one, is context. An employee doesn't operate in a vacuum. They need to understand the team, the project, and the overarching goals of the company. This contextual awareness is what separates a mindless drone from a strategic partner. So I put the AI to work. I started with the most universal office burden, the inbox. The AI read every email, sorted them, and drafted replies. A task that took me an hour was done in minutes. Next, meeting summaries. It listened to recordings, pulled out key points, and assigned action items. It felt like a superpower. At first, the gains were obvious and exhilarating. The small, tedious tasks that drained so much of our daily energy were simply gone. People on my test team found themselves with more time to focus on the hard, creative, strategic work that actually matters. The AI wasn't replacing human thinking. It was creating more space for it. It was expanding what people could do by removing the mundane busy work that clogs up our days. Teams felt like they could move faster, think bigger, achieve more. The office morale, even in the simulated environment, was noticeably higher. But then, something happened. It was a subtle event, one that could have easily been missed. A few days into the extended test, the AI made a very confident choice. It had been tasked with summarizing a complex financial report for a manager who was short on time. The AI scanned the document, extracted key data points, and composed a concise, well-written summary. It even included bolded statements highlighting the most critical findings. The summary looked perfect, clear, direct, authoritative. The manager, trusting the output, acted on the summary immediately. The decision seemed sound based on the information provided. However, the action later caused a small but very real problem for the project. The AI had missed one tiny, almost insignificant detail buried deep in a footnote. That small detail completely changed the meaning of a key number in the financial analysis. The team lost valuable time and resources correcting the mistake. It was a frustrating and embarrassing setback. This single moment was the turning point. It revealed the AI's biggest and most dangerous weakness. The AI can be incredibly sure of itself, even when it is completely wrong. It is a pattern-matching machine at its core. It finds answers, most probable matches, based on training data. But sometimes, it misses a hidden rule or a subtle exception. Sometimes, it doesn't know the full context. Most alarming, it can be dangerously overconfident, presenting a flawed conclusion with the same certainty as a correct one. Section 5. The Four Horsemen of AI: Failure, Limits, and Lessons Learned. After the incident with the financial report, I started looking closer at the AI's limitations. I found four major issues that I now call the Four Horsemen of AI failure. First and foremost are the context gaps: side chats in the hallway, subtle glances in a meeting, history of personal dynamics between team members. Those unwritten details often guide the most important real-world decisions, and the AI simply did not have access to them. It had the data, but it missed the story. Second, I observed significant judgment limits. The AI was brilliant at weighing facts and figures. It could analyze data and suggest a logical course of action based on pure rationality. However, it cannot fully grasp how a choice will affect people on an emotional level. Trust, morale, team dynamics. It can calculate risk, but it can't understand fear or hope, which are often more powerful motivators. Third, and perhaps most dangerously, is the problem of overconfidence. The AI delivers its answers in clear, direct, and authoritative language. This can make a completely wrong answer feel absolutely right. A team might quickly accept a strong-sounding recommendation without performing their own due diligence. The AI's confidence can be a siren song, luring teams toward the rocks of a bad decision. Fourth, the AI consistently missed nuance, tone, intent, subtle shades of meaning. It could misinterpret a sarcastic comment as a serious directive, or fail to distinguish firm policy from a suggested guideline. The AI operates in a world of black and white, but the real world of work is painted in infinite shades of gray. These limitations don't make the AI useless, but they do mean that humans must always remain in the driver's seat. That was the hard lesson. Section 6. The New Hiring Manual: How AI Changes Team Roles. The presence of the AI employee, even for a short time, began to change how work was done in subtle but profound ways. Meetings started to get shorter, more focused. Since everyone knew a perfect summary with action items would be available afterward, people felt less pressure to take notes and participated more. Managers also adjusted their behavior. They learned to ask the AI clearer, more specific questions to get better results. They started thinking more like data analysts, carefully framing their queries. Hiring priorities began to shift. We sought people exceptionally good at exercising judgment, not just recalling facts. Managing information mattered less than interpreting it wisely. The ideal team member was no longer just a knowledge worker, they were a wisdom worker. More time and energy were freed up for strategy, creativity, customer care. Imagine an AI that learns team context over months and years, remembering past projects, decisions, even mistakes. It could catch small, critical details it once missed, and learn to ask better, more clarifying questions when it detects ambiguity. It could even spot when it is unsure and proactively ask a human for a second opinion. This evolution would change operations, scaling routine tasks without hiring as many entry-level workers. Budgets will shift. Demand for rote roles may decrease while critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and collaboration skyrocket. Workers will learn to work alongside AI, verifying results and focusing on judgment and relationships, not replacement, but reinvention. Despite the hype and fear, many jobs will remain deeply human: empathy, negotiation, creative leadership, building long-term trust. The best results come when AI and people work together as a true hybrid team. Subscribe, because next time we push this even further.